camping in the studio, you know, doing our thing.
Okay.
Bugging out, you know.
Right.
Little test run. So,
I need you to speak with your hands on the count of three. Everybody now, 1, 2, 3, go!
Talk to him. Who stepped up in this rap game and seen acting fool?
Me and Preem, both names go together. Lot of frontin' like they ill.
word. I think it's time to move on to the next one.
You'll do the knowledge to the master builder.
Chicago, Illinois, home of the Bulls in a fine Eastern Conference battle at the United Center. 2K Sports is proud to present NBA basketball. This is Kevin Harlan with Clark Kellogg and Greg Anthony. So here's Miami's starting group. The big men are Bosh and Whiteside. Wade and Dang are the 2 and 3. And it's Dragic in the point guard. Chicago was as strong as they would have hoped for last season at home in the United Center. A lot of big wins for them here.
Yeah, and despite all the injuries, they go 27 and 14 at home, and that helped to assure them of home court in the first round of the playoffs. Oh, man, it's close, but, you know, didn't get on balance quick enough.
Yeah, and as quick as players are at this level, in this day and age, I mean, you've got to be perfect in your anticipation to draw the charge.
Bosh grabs the miss. On defense, the Bulls. And it's Dragic off the drive. And the call will be against Joakim Noah. Double team on Wade. There's the feed to Dragic. And 2 free throws coming up as he misses that one. Drawing the whistle and a lot of contact there. That's on Joakim Noah. The Heat getting their first free throws of the game.
And team stats last season, 74% shooting, so some numbers that they can definitely improve upon.
And those aren't the kind of numbers they can afford to repeat throughout this season.
Bulls making a switch here. Gibson's checked in.
Defensively, that possession better not start a trend because they just handed him 2 points.
Wade kicks to Bosh. And stolen by Butler. Rose against Dragic. Rose dishes to Gasol from 11 feet away. No good off the front iron.
Certainly not the dream start they were hoping for, going 1 for 4 early.
And it's Dragic off the drive. Kicks it to Wade. Passes it to Whiteside. No good from outside.
I tell you what, he has quite the act to follow, but Fred Hoiberg was a quick choice for the brass in Chicago. Signed that 5-year deal over the summer, was easily one of the most in-demand coaches available.
Dunleavy for 3. From deep, Rose. Good, and the assist goes to Gasol. Rose has got 5 now.
I tell you what, guys, it's going to be a tough day on this defense if he's got the A game rolling tonight.
Bosh passes to Dragic. Oh, and a fast break for the Bulls. Here's Butler. That one a tad offline to the right, but drops in for him. Well, Greg, for Hoiberg, it's his first job as an NBA head coach. Now, we know he played. He's been a part of an NBA front office. Clark, he came from Iowa State, where he honed his coaching skills and was highly respected.
Yeah, very much respected, particularly as an offensive coach. And we know the Bulls are pretty solid defensively, and he'll be looking to ramp up that offensive approach for that team, and I think he will.
Mirotic is checked in for Chicago. Brooks comes in for Derrick Rose. And a new group in for the Heat. Amari Stoudemire is checked in for Whiteside. Winslow comes in for Luol Deng. Green is checked in for Dwayne Wade. And it's Chalmers in for Goran Dragic.
And the lead just grows on that ridiculous offensive sequence.
You know, Clark, that dunk alone would have been spectacular. Never mind it coming at the end of an alley-oop.
Yeah, that just added more to it.
And you know, guys, right now they're starting to flatline, just hanging on here for dear life.
Derrick Rose is checked in for Brooks. Rose with the double team. Shot to stop the run. Got a piece of it.
And sometimes he can hit that deep three, but it's not a high percentage shot for him.
Yeah, even for him, that's out of his range. Well, I tell you what, getting out in transition has really been a big part of this run they're on now.
And the best way to pile up points in a hurry, just run and get your buckets before the defense can get set.
From the top of the key, shot is no good. And it's Miami the other way.
Tell you what, they haven't wasted any time getting into the swing of things on the boards.
And even this early, that's a good omen for the rest of the game.
Now here's Bosch. Justice Winslow missing his last shot.
Yeah, the defender all over.
Greg, he got him good there. I mean, that's why the shot was so far off.
The Heat have been perfect at the line so far, albeit just 2 for 2. Greg, after a run of 10 playoff trips in 11 years, the Miami Heat missing the postseason last year, they'd end up a game back of the 8th spot.
Yeah, and what's hard for the Heat, Kevin, is that they were in the playoff picture for most of the year, and as the season wore on, they slowly fell out of that top 8.
Here is Rose, following the score by Miami. And the shot is good, dropping in off the front of the rim. Rose has got 9 points.
The shooting percentage is really solid so far, fellas. Good start to this game for him.
Butler kicks to Rose. Chris Bosh with the rebound.
The defense ready for him on that possession. They had to be.
And that concludes the first quarter of play. Bulls lead by 5. Stay with us as we get set to bring you the second quarter right after this. Now the second quarter getting ready to start up. And guys, what's your take on the Bulls so far?
Not much room to operate offensively. The defense has been stifling through the first.
Greg, they haven't given up a lot of easy chances at all.
At the 4, it's Gasol with Noah at the 5. Rose is the 1 with Butler is the 2. And it's Dunleavy in the 3 slot. So that's the 5 in the game for Chicago. Here's Rose. That doesn't go either for Rose.
No other way to put it. Just a poor shooting performance for him. But luckily, his teammates have picked up the slack.
And it's Whiteside off the drive. That evens the score.
And he found the perfect spot behind the arc there. Big gap in the D.
Here's Rose. And a strong finish with 2 hands.
And really, he epitomizes what a point guard should be. I mean, his skills as a passer might actually be matched by that creativity he shows around the rim.
Well, judging by that jam, Greg, I'd say you're absolutely right.
Boy, that's a nice surge for them just when they needed it in a game that was so tight.
Noah with a screen for Rose. And he didn't get quite enough under that one.
Not able to find it here in the second. He's off stride and off track just a bit after that one he had earlier.
Butler attacking. And it goes as the official calls the foul. Count it. He'll shoot one more at the free throw line.
What a play there. The hoop plus the harm.
Yeah, great concentration there, Greg. Hung in there. He didn't let that contact throw him off at all. Stayed focused on the rim, knew he was going to get hit, and still was able to finish.
Portis, he's checked in for the Bulls. Count that one. Wade's got his first basket.
Not fazed at all by having a bigger defender on him down low, and I really thought he would be.
You know, at first glance, you wouldn't think that he'd be comfortable in that particular situation, but, boy, I tell you what, he didn't look like he was out of his element at all right there.
Well, I think it's been said about 1,000 times now how Coach Spoelstra started as a video coordinator with the Heat, but he's been with the organization for so long, they are starting to become synonymous.
Pulls it from the elbow. Bounces high off the rim and drops. 13 points for Rose.
I tell you what, it's almost like stealing to watch how he plays the game from this seat.
Butler dishes the Rose. Whistle blows. Yep, that's going to be a travel. And some changes here for the Heat. Stoudemire comes in for Chris Bosh. And it's Chalmers in for Dwayne Wade. Greg, as you said, Spoelstra has been with the Heat for so long now in his 8th season. He was handpicked by Pat Riley to lead the team, and Clark kind of molded him in his image.
And it was clear that Pat Riley believes in him and continues to believe in him. Coach Spoelstra has had very high expectations on his shoulders ever since taking over the team, and he's actually lived up to them.
And it doesn't really matter who starts the break with how he runs the floor. He seems to always be the one who finishes it.
Yeah, he is so fun to watch and how he attacks the rim at full speed like that, man. It's something to behold the way that guy gets to the rim.
And it's Butler missing.
Well, if this game comes down to the rebounding battle, they'll be the ones coming out on top.
They've had a strong game on that front, Clark, no doubt about it.
Now here's Dragic. He has 6. And that one's good. And now a 3-point Miami lead.
And they are attacking the rim and getting great results.
And how? I mean, they're taking this defense to task, taking them to school. Every one of their last 10 points have come in the paint. I'm not sure that was the play they had set up, but it was too good a look to pass it.
Chalmers pass to Whiteside. Stoudemire. And he jams it with authority.
And guys, right now, the defense mentally not there. Can't afford too many of those in a close game like this.
Yeah, Jay, you're right. Almost a free run, don't you think? Clark to the hoop for him there.
Momentum can swing on plays like that, Kevin, especially when the finish has that much thunder on it.
Chicago making a switch here. Noah's checked in. Winslow's checked in for Miami. Green comes in for Goran Dragic.
And you know what? You allow a guy to get right to the rim like that, that's your only option.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, free throws are always better than a layup, so I'd agree with you there, Greg.
So Chicago ends up going with the new group. Yep, it goes in, and the Miami lead is cut down to just 1 on the basket from Brooks.
Textbook. Nice pass, great catch, even better finish.
Deflects the pass. Chalmers with it. He hasn't yet put up any points in this one. Oh, and he's going up for the alley-oop here. Up high to stuff the alley-oop. Guys back and forth this first half.
Well, 5 lead changes early on, guys, as we grapple back and forth.
And this could continue to go back and forth the entire way.
Here's Stoudemire. Good, and it's Chalmers with the assist that time. And that's now 7 points for Amari Stoudemire. And the first half comes to a close. We've got a close game going on here. Miami ahead, leading by a point. From the United Center in Chicago, back in a moment. We have a close ball game on our hands as we get set for the second half of basketball. You gotta like what Derrick Rose has done in this game.
I know we've said this many times before, but what a great first half. Just an offensive juggernaut.
And, you know, in the end, I wouldn't be surprised if we're talking about what a great second half he had, guys. I mean, he can usually keep it going for all 4 quarters.
And for Miami, looking who they've got out there. Wade and Dang are the 2 and 3. The big men are Bosch and Whiteside. And it's Dragic in the point guard position. Stolen by Bosch. Wade kicks to Whiteside.
How nice was that alley-oop? Those two really have a good connection.
Yeah, read each other so well. It's a play I'm sure, Clark, they love to run.
And as a receiver, though, he doesn't necessarily feel the need to go for that monster finish. Just the nice little silky smooth layup.
That's good. And it's 7 points for Jimmy Butler.
Uh-oh, a little showboating at the end of that one. And no doubt last season the Bulls were clearly preparing for the playoffs. They played their rookies but added a lot of playoff seasoned veterans to that roster.
And if you're just joining us, we've played over a minute here in the third. Dragic again throws. Charity stripe shot. Hits some rim on the way in, and the bucket's good. Rose has got 18 points. As you mentioned, the Bulls added veteran leaders last season. Pau Gasol was the notable one. 11 Bulls, Clark, had playoff experience prior to their postseason run a season ago.
And that's invaluable, Kevin, to have that kind of experience. I mean, having Gasol, 2-time champion in the locker room, big, as is having almost a dozen guys who understand the intensity and the details that playoff basketball requires.
Aaron Brooks is checked in for Rose. Dunleavy's shot is off.
That's not the type of opportunity he fails to convert very often.
And it's out of bounds to the Heat as Miami retains possession. Bulls making a switch here. Mirotić is checked in. Wade. Bosch kicks to Wade. And he makes it look easy, dunking it hard with one hand.
And very little fight put up by the defense as he made his way to the bucket for the jam.
They did seem to take the cautious approach, Greg, when it came to defending that one. You're right.
And guys, it's not the time for caution now. I mean, they've got to be aggressive and take some risks to see if they can cut that lead down.
Taj Gibson's checked in for the Bulls. And Miami with a change here, too. Stoudemire's checked in for Whiteside.
Boy, he threw out some punishment with that two-hand throwdown.
And Clark, now's the time to do it. Continue to attack that rim.
Brooks misses.
Boy, the effort was there, but he just couldn't quite fight his way through traffic.
They get the rebound. Stoudemire dishes to Dang. Outside Bosch. Goes back up. Rebound by the Bulls.
That's what we call good defense in the paint. Worth its weight in gold.
It absolutely is, and maybe even more than that. I mean, you saw it right there. Without his presence, that's an easy basket.
Here's Dragic. After the basket by Nikola Mirotić. Dragic kicks to Dang. And lots of contact there. Missing the shot. He'll shoot 2.
And the Miami Heat have finished in the top 2 spots or better in each of the years the big 3 were in town. Last season that changed as they would end up 10th in that Eastern Conference.
And for the Heat, once the bullies of the Eastern Conference, they had a lot of trouble keeping up with other Eastern Conference teams.
Kevin, they finished 25 and 27 against the rest of the conference. Played under 500 against the East at home, which really negated their chances for the playoffs.
Chicago shooting their second and third free throws tonight. Well, you look back at the 2015 Heat, and the injuries are what probably brought that team down. We can go from Chris Bosh with the debilitating blood clot on his lung and on and on and on. The loss, of course, which was not an injury, of LeBron James. There are a lot of moving parts with that team.
And that's a great point, Kevin. If you take any star off a team, things are going to get difficult. It was impressive that the Heat still managed to stay competitive once Bosh went out.
You can see the eye contact there. Gave a little nod and then burst to the rim for the alley-oop slam.
No doubt, Clark. A pair of teammates with a terrific feel for each other out on the floor.
And guys, anytime it's real tight, you're looking for something that could be potentially a momentum builder, and that's exactly what that play looks to be.
You know, Bosh was the big injury hit for the Heat, but they had a lot of other injuries as well. I mean, had to use 31 different starting lineups last season, and 20 different players started at least one game.
Now, here's Rose. 18 points for him. Back to Noah. 5 on the clock. Chicago needs to get off a shot here. It's stolen by Wade. It's 9 seconds separating the shot clock and game clock. Deng can't get it to go.
I mean, that can happen to anyone, but it's ugly every time it does.
Yeah, it is unfortunate, embarrassing. He just lost his concentration for a split second, and that's all it took. His touch has disappeared on him this quarter. He just hasn't been able to get it going.
You know, huge height advantage there, but because of the great body control, he's able to cancel it out.
Agreed. The body control essential in that situation. I mean, if you're giving up a bunch of height, then you better be able to manufacture things in the air.
Butler with the steal. And as we end the third quarter, a great game. Both teams playing well. Heat lead by 4. And we're coming right back. Be sure to stay with us as we get started for the fourth quarter. Thanks for joining us again as we get set for the fourth quarter. A terrific game so far. Gibson is the 4 with Gasol at the 5. Brooks is out there with Heinrich. And it's Mirotic in at the 3. That's the 5 out there for the Bulls.
We could have been looking at a 2-possession game, but that was a huge mistake on the turnover. Now nerves and tightness become a factor.
And it's becoming a battle of will right now. This is as good a game as we can.
Oh! Well, he's an undersized center, but he more than makes up for it with some serious leaping ability.
And it's sent back by Bosh. And so the ball out of bounds. Bosh touched it last. Tony Snell's checked in for Chicago. And a new group getting ready for Miami. Whiteside's checked in for Stoudemire. Deng comes in for Winslow. Wade, he's checked in for Gerald Green. And it's Dragic in for Mario Chalmers. For a franchise that had so much success under his tenure, there was sure a lot of friction with Tom Thibodeau, and the Bulls front office surprised a lot of people, I know, including yourself.
Yeah, you know, it's not something that you see often, a winning coach at odds with his GM and president. With how often their differences came up, though, you knew something was afoot.
The kick out to Bosh. Deng with it. Guarded now by Aaron Brooks. Back to Bosh. Some nice ball movement here by the Heat.
This is not the slam dunk contest. You don't get do-over. You got to finish the job.
And with Thibs, he did end up getting fired from the Bulls this past season. Some saw it coming, but still, I think surprising given the level of success he had. His imprint is all over this Bulls team and the way they approach the game.
Here's Dragic from outside. Basket is good. The assist from Bosh. And that's now 9 points for Goran Dragic.
You know, it's really hard not to notice the difference in the passing of these two teams today.
It's a stark discrepancy when you look at the assist columns and you see that difference as far as the fluidity in their respective offenses.
And when you look at how Thibs got fired, I mean, there are a lot of reasons why a coach can be let go. I mean, he didn't have any performance issues, but apparently clashed in some form or fashion with the front office. Sometimes that's all it takes to be asked to go somewhere else.
And they've had the edge in rebounding all night long, and none bigger than that one right there.
And guys, you've seen it countless times in a close game. Hustle plays can really make the difference.
6 to shoot. Wade drives in. Rebounded by Snell.
Major defensive lapse right there. I mean, he's not a player you can leave open for a jump shot. You've got to stay attached to him. We're lucky he couldn't punish them for it. Those are the types of shots down the stretch that win you ball games.
And over 2.5 minutes in the books here in the fourth. Dishes to Bosch. Out to Wade. Dang passes to Wade. Here's Whiteside. And Gibson sends it back. And it's out of bounds to the Heat as Miami retains possession. So Chicago ends up going with the new group. Just 4 to shoot. Dang dishes to Wade.
They got to keep fighting their way to the line, guys. This half, it's been nothing but success for them there.
Yeah, taking full advantage from the charity stripe. They've yet to miss here in the second.
And Wade drops them both.
Tremendous job at the line, as usual. You can always bank on him in those situations.
And the foul on Derrick Rose. That's foul number 2 for him.
Yeah, really good defensive play to cut him off there and square up.
Excellent example of toughness and physicality on defense. Got his nose right in the middle of things and made a play.
And the shot is good. 10-point strikes for Chris Bosh.
He's played an important role in their offense today, guys. Without him, they may not be in the league.
They get it again. And finished off by Noah.
And that's an example of willpower right there, guys. I mean, grabbing the offensive rebound and then going back up strong.
And GA, in a close game like this where every possession is critical, that could prove to be a very big one.
Boy, it sure could, Kevin. I mean, he salvaged 2 big points for them off that miss.
And the foul on Derrick Rose. And that'll be his 3rd foul so far. And the Heat call time here. 6. 1:33 left here in the 4th quarter. Let's go quickly over to Doris Burke for an update.
Guys, over that last break, I listened to Eric Spoelstra address his team. He said to them, the lead we've got now is nice, but I want to make it even nicer. This is when we put the hammer down. It doesn't look like he's ready to back off just yet, guys.
The Bulls making a switch here. Mirotic is checked in. Chalmers. Shot is good off the back rim and in.
You know, not necessarily what you're looking for, but still able to convert.
On its way from Rose for 2. Here's Noah. Yes, and it's Rose with the assist that time. Noah's got 4 points in the quarter.
That's how to orchestrate for your teammate. Terrific pass.
.102 left in the 4th quarter. And Chalmers kicks to Winslow.
Time definitely not on their side.
They need a that athletic.
Yeah.
Man, he got fancy with that one, didn't he?
Yeah, maybe trying to give them the momentum boost they need to break this game open.
I tell you what, I like that though, guys. Some coaches might not want you to make a play like that, but I tell you what, when you got the skills like that, I say go for it.
And the Heat call time here. They lead by 4. There's 49 seconds left in the 4th. And the Heat going with the whole new group on the floor. And it's Dragic off the drive. Wade again. It's Butler. Wade kicks to Bosh. He feeds it to Whiteside. Outside Dragic. Heat moving the ball around. Snatched up. And that's out of bounds. Miami will retain possession.
Risky pass in a situation like that. Very lucky that wasn't a steal.
Fortunate to get it through. I thought he was headed the other way with that one.
3 seconds separate the shot clock and game clock. Butler with the steal.
Time running low here.
A quick score, Greg, and then probably foul him right away.
Gets the first, and that narrows the lead down to just 3. And that one goes in. 2 from... the line that time.
And now you're in a great position thanks to those clutch free throws. 1 possession game now.
And they commit an intentional foul. We'll see another one of those so they can get into the penalty.
Yeah, you can't let them hold the ball and just milk those last seconds away.
No, you got to foul. I mean, it's going to come down to free throws here. Foul right away.
And he cannot get the first one to drop. Tough one to miss. So he comes up empty, missing both. To tie it up. Oh, off target.
I mean, even from over here, you could see that one pretty clearly.
No question about it, Greg. I mean, a ton of contact and a good call by the official.
That one drops. He ties it up.
How fantastic was that? One mistake and the game's over, but he gets it done.
And the Heat call time here. Here's Bosh. Oh, missed it. Regulation is ended and we're heading to overtime. We've got more NBA basketball coming your way in just a minute. Overtime just ahead. Jump ball right around the corner. And so the tip-off, it's Miami. And away we go here with post-regulation basketball. Courtesy of Gatorade, all fueled up and ready to go. Let's reset the lineup for us now in overtime. So the Bulls 5 right now. At small and power forward, it's Dunleavy Gasol. Rose is the 1 with Butler is the 2. And it's Noah in at the pivot spot, manning the middle. The drive by Wade. And good. Got the friendly bounce off the right side of the rim. Wade's got 4 points this quarter. Rose passes to Gasol. It's good. This time the assist from Rose.
Man, did they need those points. And I bet he's the guy that continues to go for it.
Well, unless they alter the defense on him, I mean, he should be the guy they go to. His height gives him a huge edge the way they're playing him now. So keep going to it until the defense adjusts.
And really, once he got that steal, just really nothing the defense could do.
That's why turnovers are so costly, because in many cases, they're indefensible once possession changes hands.
Here's Butler. And fouled hard that time. He'll get to the line and shoot 2. That's on Goran Dragic.
No question he got bumped on that shot.
Yeah, the officials didn't need to talk that one over. It was obvious.
Amari Stoudemire is checked in for Whiteside. Second one is good. Hitting both at the line, and it's a 2-point ball game.
Yeah, critical that he's able to convert there. Now they've taken the lead.
That's going to be over and back. Not watching for the line that time.
They're losing their concentration here, guys. Some sloppy play going on right now.
Yeah, 2 turnovers in a row, and that's always a recipe for disaster. Well, he gets it in close, but you have to credit that stifling defense for forcing the miss.
Exactly, Greg. I mean, defense like that really increases the degree of difficulty on that shot by a large amount.
Bosh, that's good. A little over a minute and a half gone now here in overtime. Rose against Dragic. And it's Rose penetrating. Here's Dunleavy. No good. Some solid defense from Bosh. For Miami, they've gotten all three of their shots to drop so far in overtime. And it's good. Fought through contact, hits the shot. He'll go to the free throw line. It's going to be Wade shooting. It's on Jimmy Butler.
Those and ones can be really critical moments in a tight game like this one.
Rose dishes to Gasol. Stolen by Bosh. Double team on Wade. To the middle. Plenty of space. Sinks it. Dang against Gasol. And two shots coming up at the line as he gets fouled on the shot.
Second team foul.
And no good as the first free throw missing for him. We'll see if he can nail the second.
2 shots.
That's good. Going 1 of 2 from the line, and that shrinks the margin to just 4.
Listen, they're still right in this thing. Missing that free throw, though, keeps this a 2-possession deficit.
Outside Rose. Three-pointer. It's good. And that shot brings them to within just 1.
They don't get any bigger than that basket.
They needed it, Greg, and he gave it to him.
Dragic with it. Gasol covering. Here's Bosh. Almost, but it rolls out.
And honestly, not real happy with the shot selection on that one.
Yeah, clearly a brain fade there. He's got to be a little smarter in his choice making.
Outside Dragic. And the call will be against Joakim Noah. That's his 3rd foul so far. Bonus situation in effect, so we'll head to the free throw line for 2. And that hurts as he doesn't get the first one to fall. Trying to focus now on the second. So neither attempt will fall that time for him. Chicago calls timeout. They're down by 1. Just 2 seconds left to play in OT, and this battle continuing. What's your take?
It's come down to this. 1 shot to win the game. They have just enough time to catch the ball, make a quick pass, and then get it airball.
Here's Butler. Oh, that shot had a chance, but no good. And so the big win by Miami in a tight